look, I want to bring it back to him for a second here because, look, it has been a little too long that we're having this conversation about a pointless streak. At some point, you got to contribute. And I know they've tried different things. I know he's been working on it in practice, but he is clearly snake bitten out there. And I don't know what the answer is. You just simply got to ride it out. But it hurts the team. I mean, they look to him to contribute, and this is just not happening right now. That's got to be insanely frustrating, not just for him, but for his teammates, his coaching staff. I mean, they see it. They're seeing it right now. We're all seeing it from the stands and from the broadcast booth, for that matter. And that's one of the things that when you look at this team as a whole, back to this goalless, pointless streak that's been going on for what feels like, I don't know, like the month that just won't end. Here's the reality. He needs to play better. That was a flat performance. His confidence is shot right now. That's evident. But you know what? You don't have to play like that. You know, you can be a little more tenacious on the puck. Be harder on it. But he just looked like a total passenger. He looked disinterested. That's unnerving. If I'm a coach on this team right now, the way he looked disinterested out there is very concerning. Now, you look across on the other side, look at the performance. Let's take a look around the league and some of the final scores out there tonight. The Predators went toe-to-toe on the road against the Oilers. Edmonton puts on a magical offensive display for the win. The Hawks were on the road to take on the Kraken. Seattle toughs one out and pick up the win. The Islanders were hoping to fly high on the road against the Canucks. The New York Islanders terrorized the opposition with a magical offensive display. Don't go anywhere. We've got much more here on the show. You know what? And that's a great point, and thank you very much for the call there, Jackson. And, you know, when you look at some of the players out there and the young players in the league that are making people take notice, I think you have to look at him and what he has done so far in his early steps in the National Hockey League. You know, up front, he's finding a way to the net. He's finding a way to engage. You know, he's also showing a two-way game. And for young players, you don't see that often. That usually takes a lot longer, and I've been really impressed from what I've seen from this young man in his early steps in his career in the National Hockey League. All right, back to the phones we go. We've got Dylan on line 5. Hey, Dylan. We continue our conversation here with Ray Ferraro. Hey, just before we wrap things up, because I know you got a family dinner to get ready and prepare, and you've got relatives coming in for U.S. Thanksgiving.
Oh, I love it.
I know, it's just the best, right? The Calder race, how do you handicap it at this point?
Oh, I think it's pretty wide open. I mean, in particular, if we look at it from where we're standing, the best rookie player here
I want to say this. I want to go back to the whole notion and the conversation about the sophomore slump, because from what I've seen so far in his second year, that does not exist. Does not exist so far from this young forward, right? I mean, he shows up and he competes, and the consistency in his game. Look, it's a long season. I get it. And a lot can happen between now and the finish line. But to me right now, the idea of a sophomore slump, yeah, preposterous. How does that sound, all right? Is that convincing enough for you? Preposterous. I just love that word. But anyway, no sophomore slump here, okay? Let's move on. Back to the phones we go. Levi, how are you? All right, at this time, let's get you caught up on all the action on the ice tonight. The Avs were hoping to quiet the crowd on the road against the Sharks. Colorado takes this one thanks to a beautiful performance in goal for the shutout win. The Sens took to the road to match up with the Flames. Ottawa powers their way to victory in this one. The Canucks took to the ice to battle the Golden Knights. Vancouver